Carolina. So this one's by Taylor Swift. My wife showed me the song. We were driving through Norway and we listened to it over and over and over again. The kind of eerie melody with the backdrop of the mountains was beautiful. This is going to be a full lesson, so I'm going to show you how to strum through it, and I'm also going to show you how to play the melody. Printable tabs, backing track, all that good stuff by becoming a Patreon. Links in the notes, as well as the description. My email's there too if you want some one-on-one lessons via Zoom or Skype. If you didn't know about it too, we have a Facebook group called 10 Thumbs Challenges, and this month we're doing a challenge, Women in Music. New ukulele every Wednesday and Saturday. Subscribe if you like this kind of content. Never miss a lesson. Go ahead, grab that ukulele brain attention span, follow me on in, and let's break it down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the song pieces one at a time, and then we'll strum through them, and then we're going to circle back and do the melody at the end, okay? So you can use the timestamps if you want to help you stay organized, but first things first, chords. B minor, and if you know the chords, feel free to use those timestamps to skip ahead as well. B minor, 4th fret of the G string, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 2nd fret. But you'll see my index finger is actually barring the entire 2nd fret. I think that's more comfortable than this. A major, middle finger, 2nd fret of the G, index 1st of the C, and then the E minor, open G, 4th fret of the C, 3rd fret of the E string, 2nd fret of the high A, or the only A string. We're also going to need a D chord. Middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, ring finger below it, pinky below it. Trust me that you want to use these 3 fingers and not these 3 fingers. With these 3, you can get more of a vertical angle as opposed to rolling your wrist. And later, it will make other chords much easier. So make sure you're using these 3 fingers for your D. And for a strum pattern, we're going to get a down, down, up, down, down, up, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and nice and groovy like this. Ooh, yeah. One measure would be 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So over the B minor, 2, A, E minor. Then that progression's gonna flip around and it's gonna be E minor for 1 measure, A for 1 measure, and B minor for 2. So you get 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and repeat it. 2 and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 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 and 3, 4, and Okay, lyrics up, keywords, those are those little red pieces. That highlights exactly where the change happens with the chord. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes right into that B vamp. You didn't see me here. No, you never did change. So let's go ahead and break down that little pre-chorus. Random solo! Yeah, yeah. Now the song order looks like this, and the structure for the verse is the same for all of those verses. After this one, we get into our pre-chorus, which is just 4 strum patterns on our B minor. So let's go ahead and count it in, strum through it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Was that 5? I might have accidentally done it 5 times, but that's just the whole pre-chorus. And then we jump right into the chorus. So let's take a look at that. Chorus time, 1 measure of D, same strum pattern, 1 of A, 2 of E minor, okay? And you're gonna play through that 3 times. The 4th time through, the D becomes the B minor. And if you're observant, you might notice that there's some overlaps in notes. The D major chord and the B minor chord have 2 of the 3 same notes. So it has a similar vibe. One's just a little more melancholy, and one is a little more optimistic. And it's kind of fun that she chose to use the melancholy one the 4th time through. All right, so let's count it in and let's strum it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would be how you strum through the chorus. After the first verse, there's this instrumental break, and that would be the exact same progression as the verse, well, the first half of the verse. So you strum B minor 2 times, A once, E minor once, then E minor 2 times, A once, and then B minor once. And then you'd be right back into the second verse. There is another little instrumental break after the second chorus, and it follows the structure mostly of the chorus with the D, A, E minor, E minor, D, A, E minor, E minor, D, A, E minor, E minor. I call that song D, A, E minor. And then after doing that 3 times, you'll play the E minor for 2 more. So that's the only little wrinkle, right? You don't go the 4th time through to B minor, A, E minor. You're actually just going to stay on the E minor for 2 more times. Then after that, there's this other little piece that maybe we're going to call a pre-verse. You could also call it a refrain. And it's going to be just alternating between B minor and A. So you play 2 strum patterns of B minor and the 2 of A. And that's going to happen 2 times. The second time through, it stays on the A. Now there you have 2 options. You can strum through it, or you can let it ring. I like to do this. So I'm going to play it 2 strum patterns on B minor, 2 on A. 2 strum patterns on B minor, 2 on A. And then I'm going to play 1 additional one on A, and then on the first beat, I'm going to let it ring before I jump back into the 3rd and final verse. So it would sound like this. One, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. And then you're into the 3rd and final verse. And the 3rd and final verse is the end of the song as well. Looking at the song order, we have entered the last verse, and this also functions as our coda. It's slightly different than the rest of the verses, but only a slight modification. We're going to start off, I said start and strum together there. We're going to strum off with 2 B minors, 2 measures, 1 A, 1 E minor, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Then the wrinkle here is we stay on the E minor, but instead of 2 strum patterns like previously, it's only 1. So we go 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 2 on B minor. Then we repeat everything that we just did from the top, with the only exception being the very last B minor. We're going to strum it out. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 3, 4, and A, 2, and 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. And that's the end of Strumming It All. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the melody? So I prefer to do this part first person because that's how the tabs are set up. And this is also your point of view. This is how you're seeing the ukulele, so it makes more sense to me. Okay, first phrase. And you'll see we have the first 5 measures up here. This is kind of a running, right? So it's O Carolina creeks. Then you'll see from lie, that is where the strumming would start. O Carolina creeks running through my veins. Lost I was dumb. So we start on the 6th fret of the C string, and we play it 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 6, 5, 7, 7. What does a Carolina accent sound like? Is if anybody watching this from Carolina, go ahead and let me know. I actually might redo the intro and ask that question as well. So I don't know yet, because I'm curious now. Is it like a Southern thing? Is it a coastal thing? Is it different than our North Carolina and South Carolina accents different? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so we get to that 7. And then here, I'm actually going to use that rest to switch to my index finger for the next one, because it goes running through. So 7 on the E string, and then we drop ring finger, 9th fret of the A string to the 7th fret when it changes to A. E note, E is a tone of A, so this would be a chord tone right there, right? Then we're going to come down here on the 3rd beat, 5, pull 4, because that's a vocal slur. And no, I don't mean a bad word, and I don't mean like you're drinking and playing. What I mean is when she says my, she goes my. Now keep in mind I'm singing that an octave below, but what she's doing is actually probably 2 octaves below, taking this D note and making it a C sharp. Ooh, my. Something more like that. Now after 5-4, we go back to the 7th fret here on the E string. I like to get a slide in there, but that's just because sometimes I can't help myself. It might not sound better, but it's something that you can do if you'd like. Then that sets off the cool part in the melody where it goes, which we'll get to, but let's go ahead and play through these 5. I'm going to jump in on the 2nd beat, and I'm going to count through it so you can see how it would work with the drums. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1. Next 4 measures coming up, and 5th fret here. 2 beats. 1, 2, and you're gonna go 5, 7, 5 down to 4. So we're creating a vocal motif where we're going. And I bet you can guess what next. Well, actually the tabs are right there. 4, 5, 4, 2. Do, 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 do. Now there's a big slide here, and she goes, always. So what I'm doing here is I'm sliding 2 to 7. Those big slides can be hard because of sustain on the ukulele, and they can also be tricky because sometimes you overshoot them or undershoot them. That's what these dots come in here for. So I'm actually aiming where I'm going to land. If I look at the 8th fret, I'll stop on the 8th fret. If I look at the 6th fret, I'll stop on the 6th fret. If I look at the 7th fret, I'll stop on the 7th fret. And that's my goal. That's what I'm aiming for. After that slide, we'll hit it again on the 1st beat, rest on the 2nd beat, and then we're going to drop down to our F sharp, and we're going to go Carolina, and take it back to the top. So these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Next 4 starts off the same. The 7's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Also note those 2 beats I am letting them ring, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And I kill that one because it's just a quarter note. I want to emphasize that rest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Rest, switch. Kind of feel like a dance coach on like Dancing with the Stars. Cha, cha, cha. 1, 2, switch. But then after that, these next 4 look like the first 4. But I do want to emphasize one thing I don't think I emphasized earlier was the rest on that second beat. Make sure you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then release that pressure on the second beat so you get a nice quarter tone. So these 4, we've played them already. Let's just go ahead and do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1. Last 4 of the verse. That lovely motif continues. 5, 5, 7, 5, 4, 4, 5, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, and that ends the verse. Now pay attention to a couple of things, one of them being Carolina. It's, again, those slurs. Carolina. Playing these 4 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we jump into the "You didn't see me here" part that's just playing over this B minor. Really cool. Let's take a look at it. Now, you will see me playing melody high G here. If you have a low G and I play an open G string here, you need to play 3rd fret here. Okay, for my ukulele, they're the exact same note. One of them is a little sharp. But for you out there, if you have a low G, this is an octave lower. So if you see me play high open G for melody and you have a low G, make sure you play the 3rd fret of the E string. So we get, put them up. First measure is very cool because we're starting to get more into the offbeat. 2nd fret of the E string, open A, open A. 1 and 2, 3. Again, 3rd fret of the E if you don't have an if you have a low G, open G. Then 4 and 1. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4 and 1. Also really interesting note choice here with this C sharp. C sharp over a B minor is very dissonant, but I love it. I think it sounds nice and sour. And then when she lands on this F sharp, it sounds great. So you get 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1. 1st fret of the C string 2 times. 2nd fret of the E, open A, open G, then 4 and 1. Then to push it towards the chorus, we play the O4 on the 4th beat. So these would be nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and. This would be a cool chord melody. It really, really would. So our chorus starts out here on the 5th fret over that D chord. You got an A-shaped D chord right here, D note chord tone, and you let it ring for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, boom. Then we're going to slide 5 to 9. Then once we get up here to 9, which is an F sharp, the 6th interval of A, making it an A6, we're going to go all the way down here to 2. We're going to go 2, O, 2, 2, O, 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 2. Now when you do, hate to sound like a broken record, but remember, G, G. If you got a low G, don't play that open G. Also, if you do have a low G, there's one B note in this song, and it's going to sound va a sonar tan lindo, un logro que nosotros no podemos lograr con esta así tan alta. So what we're going to do is run through these 4 and let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next 4 measures. All right, so these 4 measures. We're going to start off 2nd fret of the C string, no biggie, boom. Then we're going to go 5, 7 on the next measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here you see lots of little dashes, right? Because that first 2 beats, she's singing one word, it's just going up and down. So what I like to do here is I'll do 7, hammer 9, then 7, slide 5, then 2, 2, 2, pull 0. So it's kind of a compromise, but sustain, how long a note lasts on the ukulele is very short compared to some other instruments, especially the voice. So, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. With that pull off, it's basically instantaneous too. So it's 1 and 2 and 3. Oops. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. On the first beat, open, and then 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3 and 4. When these next 4 pop up, now you can see why counting is kind of important, right? So this first measure, we're going to go nice and slow. And again, we have lots of her using her voice to do things like. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Just that first measure up to the 5th fret. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Next measure is 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So the 5 and the 7s in the second measure are happening on the strong beat, on the 1 and on the 3. But you have these going before it. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. More at full speed, right? Jumping up to the 10, use your dots. If you got them, use your dots. Jumping up to the 10. Now here, I did that with my index finger, but I don't want to do that. I want to get up there with my ring finger so I can get back to the 7th fret with my index finger. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Oops. I played 10, 8 instead of 10, 7. So 3rd measure, 10th fret, 7th fret, down here 2, open. And that's just 1 and 2, 3 and 4. This 4th measure, she's going crazy with her voice again. It's lovely. You should actually listen to that specifically if you're learning to sing and you want some inspiration. But what we're going to do is we are going to play it one time without the slides and all that, just counting it. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Slide 2 to 5. And then go ahead and pluck it again to get down to 2. Pull off the 0. 2nd fret there. So these 4 together, nice and slow. We play through the whole thing. We get 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. All right, almost there. The last little bit of melody would be. So this is the end of the chorus, and you're going to start off 1, 2, and 3. Coming in the and after the second beat. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. So we got a lot of that going on. First measure, let that ring out, and then on the and after 2, you're going to play 2, 2. You see, it's chord tones right from the chord itself. land on that second beat where she says things on the third beat and let that ring out until 4, release it, and then play on the and. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. Play it again on the first beat, open E string. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. So open E on the 1, nothing on the 2, second fret of the C on the and then open E again. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and boom. When we get to lie of Lina, it's the second fret. Then you're going to play the 4th fret of the G string, the one note that's too low. And if you have a low G, you've been rewarded. It sounds great here. Then you're going to circle around, let that ring out, and then we are going to jump into the will ever know. So then let that ring out. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. These last 4 measures. 1, 2, last 4 measures. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. Carolina, baby, there it was with all the cool swelling violins and the you didn't see me here. No, you never did see me here. Just a cool tune, right? So this one's in B minor, relative major to D major. And the use of that C sharp with that A makes this really hard sound that I enjoyed it. I really dig it. I like the minimalism in the production. No drums. Really not a lot of harmony in general. Her voice, some strings in the background. Very cool arrangement, very cool song. Thank you to my wife for showing it to me. Thank you for watching to the end. Thank you #WomenInMusic for keeping it real. And thank you Norway for being a beautiful backdrop for me to absorb this song. Until next time, love, peace, and chicken grease. Life is good. Catch you next Wednesday or Saturday for Ook. Monday for guitar. Take care of yourself.